Hi there, I'm Nancy Nash with Starfish Strength, and today I'm going to give you my 5 points on how to choose the roller that's right for you. So why would you even want to consider buying a roller or some sort of rolling device? Well, done on a regular basis, myofascial release, or foam rolling as many of us call it, has a lot of benefits. So done before prolonged movement or my workout, a run, a walk, whatever you're going to be doing that day, you'll find that it actually gets your circulation going. You get some blood flowing in the muscles and things warm up, become a little bit looser, and you'll be less prone to injury. Done between your workouts or movement sessions on a regular basis, you'll actually speed up your recovery time, and hopefully you'll have less DOMS or delayed onset muscle soreness. So reviews are somewhat mixed for those results, but also I found benefits like working through adhesions in scar tissue, and it's also even been shown to help with issues like neuropathy. So there are a lot of reasons to be curious about this, and we'll go over those in other videos. But today, I want to give you a handle on why I have the equipment I have and what might be right for you. So my first point of consideration in choosing the roller or rolling tool that's right for you will be the size of it. So typically for a larger muscle group that I want to roll or bring some release to, I want to choose a larger tool, and for something smaller in the body, I want to choose something smaller. Now, I'm almost 6 feet, nothing is small on me, but it's all relative, right? So what I mean is, when I'm rolling something like my hip or my back, I tend to choose a larger ball, or I'm also going to choose one of the rollers because it's going to evenly distribute that tension over the entire area. So when I'm rolling something like a joint, I want something a lot smaller. So for issues like tendinitis, arthritis, maybe for going around some scar tissue, you might actually want something that offers the ability to be really delicate. So I might choose a really small ball, or I might choose something that has a little bit of texture to it where just those small points are going to be hitting the area that I want to roll. Right, so we'll go over these things in other videos, but if I'm someone that's had carpal tunnel, I might actually consider using something on the forearm that just gives me those little points of contact. So typically for my forearms, I'll use the spike ball, or I'll use this really small ball. So the second point to consider when you're choosing your roller or rolling device is texture. So you really want to think about how you want this to make you feel. And what I mean by that is, if I'm just looking for working through some tight tissues between workouts, I'm probably going to choose something smoother. And if I'm looking to sort of wake up the nerves in the body because they don't seem to be talking, then I usually choose something that has a little bit more texture to it. So obviously you can find what works for you. I'm just sharing what works best for me. But as you see, I have these 3 different types of foam rollers that I might use on the ground. And so this one is the firmest one. And this I would use if things are feeling pretty good workout to workout. This is like my favorite. But if I am feeling a little bit tight and I'm a little bit scared about putting that pressure of my body weight into this roller, then I'm going to use something a little less firm. And so this one is kind of a happy medium between these two. So this one is really light and foamy. So it's definitely going to be more forgiving if I'm feeling really, really tight for some reason in a certain area of my body. And the quads are known for that. Some people's hips are really known for that. So I might start with a texture and something that has more of a forgiving give to it. And then as I warm up a little bit, I might move to something a little bit firmer, or maybe even a little bit firmer than that. So that's kind of one aspect of texture that I think about. And then the other thing is waking up nerves in the body. So if something's not talking, I really want it to get it talking appropriately. So the third point of consideration that I would recommend is versatility. So thinking about the versatility that it gives you, not necessarily the versatility that it gives me. So if I am someone that, packs up and goes on trips, I probably want something that I can bring with me. And really, when I went to Yosemite, I did bring a couple of these things with me because I wanted to be able to roll my calves at night. I wanted to be able to roll other sore spots of the body, to be honest with you. My back and shoulders got a little more sore than I was planning on just because I was carrying things. So I actually brought some of the balls and one of the stick rollers with me. And my favorite tool to bring would probably be this big ball because, as I said earlier, I have pretty big muscle groups. So I find that, I can still use this on my arms. I can use it on my legs and my hips, and it gives me pretty good versatility. Now, someone that has much smaller muscles might actually find that they want to have a smaller tool with them. So it's still a matter of preference. If you're a person that's going to be rolling your legs a lot, you might not find that you can bring a full-size, ground roller with you, but maybe you can bring a much smaller one. And actually this one fits really well in a bag as well. So just considering what you're going to be doing and the versatility that the tool gives you is one of my key points today. So our fourth point in considering a roller that's right for you is your mobility level. And really what I mean by that is, where are you comfortable doing this? Are you going to be getting down to the floor and using the roller or rolling device between your body and the floor? Are you going to be using this against the wall because you're more comfortable standing to do this? Or are you going to be seated in a chair? So just realistically considering what your comfortability and mobility is before purchasing a tool is really important. So if you're comfortable getting down to the floor, good news, pretty much any of these will work well for you. And I would recommend selecting your tool based on one of our other criteria. If you are going to be using a roller or rolling device against a wall, I would typically recommend one of the balls and a smaller or medium one for rolling smaller areas, and a bigger one for rolling the hips, rolling the back, if you're going to be using your rolling device against the wall. I have also found that the smaller round roller like this does work against the wall. So if you are rolling your back or the hips, you may find that something about that size works for you, but the bigger ones are a little bit trickier to manipulate. And then if you are going to be seated in a chair, if you're going to be rolling the bottoms of your feet, like for something like plantar fasciitis, you could definitely use one of the balls. But if you do want to address one of the larger muscle groups, say like the quadriceps or muscles in the calf, I would recommend that you consider one of the stick rollers, because it gives you a lot more flexibility to kind of manipulate it side to side. And especially like for the calves and the other muscles in the lower part of the leg, I find that you can get some good leverage there. I've also found that this stick roller type format works for muscles in the back in a seated position. That does, still again depend on your mobility, but I've also used it for some of the other muscles in the arm and in the shoulder when that's all I've had to work with. So just considering what your comfortability is, either against the wall rolling, on the floor rolling, or seated in a chair rolling is something that I would highly recommend looking at when you're choosing a rolling device that's going to work well for you. So our fifth point for consideration when finding a rolling device that works best for you is really your overall return on investment. And this is going to be a personal thing. So really any of these is only as good if I really use it, right? So considering all of our other criteria kind of together as a whole will help me evaluate, like, how many times am I really gonna use this? If I buy a pair of shoes and I only use them once, I don't consider that a really good return on investment unless I really, really loved those shoes for some reason and I have a million pictures in them. So you're probably not going to use these tools for that sort of purpose. So definitely consider how often you're likely to do this. And if you do want some tips on how to build a rolling habit into your lifestyle, I do have some recommendations on that. I'll say one more thing here about return on investment. For me personally, I really like to support causes that I believe in, and if I know that my purchase is going to support a small business that I believe in, part of the proceeds are going to go towards a cause I believe in, or more recently, I've thought about those things plus the fact that I would like to purchase things that I feel are leaving a better environmental footprint, that can really make you want to spend maybe a little bit more on something, but also feel like you've gotten a better return on investment. So a little food for thought, a little bit of an X factor there. So those are my 5 points for you to consider when choosing your next roller. Thanks so much for checking out this video. I hope you found this helpful and you found something you can use to seize your inner star. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below about your favorite rolling tool and what other questions you have that I can help you with. If you did find this helpful, please feel free to check out our other videos, consider subscribing, and please share this with someone you think it would help. Thanks so much again, and we'll see you in the next video.